You're live.
All right, everybody. Today we are coming to you from the Petland Norman Fish Room to show you some tricks and tips to set up the 5-gallon fish tank, or really any small all-inclusive boxed kit. Today we're working with the Marina 5-gallon LED tank. Really nice little tank, nice little 5-gallon setup. The LED lights do allow for you to put in live plants if you want to attempt to grow live plants. We already took the liberty of taking it out of the box, but we're just gonna go over pretty much the easiest way to set it up and some of the mistakes that people make, and hopefully if you watch this video you can avoid those mistakes. So the first thing we need to decide whenever we're getting a fish tank is what kind of fish do you want. So obviously we've already decided on a 5-gallon fish tank, so we need to decide on fish that are going to be able to go in a 5-gallon fish tank. Fresh water, the rule of thumb is 1 inch per gallon of water. So typically with a 5-gallon tank, you can put a maximum of 5 inches in. This does depend on the type of fish that you're putting in and how much waste that they're going to create. And if you have a cleanup crew in there, which we'll get into briefly as well, that you can maybe get away with a little bit more fish. Something to note about this 5-gallon tank is it does not come with a heater. Most of the fish that you're gonna see in your local fish store are tropical fish, meaning they need a heater. And even fish that don't need heaters typically will do better if they have a heater. The only fish that really hate heaters are goldfish. So that's something you would keep in colder water.
And we don't recommend this size tank for a goldfish.
Yes, because goldfish get very large. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a heater. So tropical fish, 78 degrees is the temperature they like. So we're going to come over. That's a really small tank, so we don't need a big heater. I like this little preset heater. It is just preset Aqueon 50 watt. It will heat the water to 78 degrees. You don't have to adjust it. You don't have to mess with it. When it heats your water to 78 degrees, it will then stop. It turns off, and when the water drops back below, it senses it and it turns it back on. So we will put our heater. It comes with a suction cup, so it's not just hanging. You put that, we'll unwrap it. We're gonna add water and fish and everything here, so. Which I have not decided what fish I'm putting in yet, but we'll figure that out.
I'm gonna go grab one product that makes it fish safe right away. It does come with some cycle, fluval cycle, to make it safe for fish, but we like a different product here. This is BioBoost, and this is actually made by a veterinarian and doctor, and they actually recommend putting fish in immediately because it's live bacteria.
Yeah, so whenever you're setting up a fish tank, it's really important. I mean, some rookie mistakes. People literally just put tap water in their tank and then they drop fish in it. Well, tap water has a ton of chloramines and chemicals in it that make it safe for us to drink, but it is not safe for the fish. So when we add water here, we have water that's already dechlorinated. We're actually using reverse osmosis water, which you do not need, but this comes with tap water conditioner. Most box kits will. So you need to use, this removes the chlorines and chloramines from the water to make it safe for the fish. But then what you're gonna hear is, you know, most pet stores, if they're doing a good job, will tell you you can't just add fish immediately and you need to add them slowly. So, you know, what Ted went and grabbed here, that AquaBoost, the biological conditioner, there is live bacteria in it. And when we add this to our 5-gallon tank and into our filter, it's going to make it as though this tank has been established for a very long time, which means that we can add our fish all at one time without having to worry about a huge bacteria bloom. Now, I would still reserve, you know, for a starter fish tank, you're not gonna go out and buy 20 fish and put it in a 5-gallon tank. I mean, you're gonna add 3 or 4 fish as long as you get this AquaBoost in first. So we got our heater set up in there. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our filter. This is really important too. A lot of people don't think to do this. It comes with the filter cartridges. Every filter takes different filter cartridges. And you do need to replace these. How often do you replace filter cartridges? Once a month, once every other month?
Yeah, every couple months.
Depends on how many fish are in your tank and again, what the bio
What I
is.
always suggest to a customer is to replace one at a time. Don't replace both of them because that has your good bacteria in it. Now, if you have a filter that only takes one cartridge, you obviously have to replace it all at one time. But I tell the customers to actually put that old cartridge in the tank while these ones get loaded with the bacteria. So now we are going to rinse these off because you don't want to put it straight into the tank. And you want to rinse it. This is non-chlorinated water. This goes through a purification system before coming back to the fish department.
Right, so you don't want to rinse these with chloramines and chlorine.
No, you want to rinse that in dechlorinated water.
So did you work here? Did you work here?
All right, I already set this up. This came apart. The pump on this filter is, whoopsies, is interesting. It actually, the pump most times will sit down in the tank. This one sits, the pump sits inside the water, so it comes with a sponge to keep your fish from getting sucked onto it, but it actually will just sit.
Yeah, so this filter would actually be safe for shrimp as well because it does have the netting at the bottom there to keep anything from getting sucked into the actual filter.
Okay.
Right, at this stage, you would add your rocks.
Right. So this is personal preference.
Yeah, rocks are going to be personal preference.
I've got kids. I've got little kids, so I'm going to go with something colorful. And maybe I'm going to go blue jean.
Blue jean?
Yeah.
That's a good color.
Blue jeans. It's a fan favorite. Now the gravel is pre-washed, but
It is pre-washed, but we recommend still rinsing it off. For this case, we're not going to because we don't have a strainer here.
The bag says it does not need to be rinsed, but it's always a safe bet to rinse your gravel, especially on such a small scale like this. So, for those of you who haven't set up a fish tank in a long time, many people may be wondering where the under gravel filter is. Not really many tanks out there with under gravel filters. You still can find, I think, tanks from the 80s.
I haven't seen one in 7 years.
Right.
We still have customers that use them though. They were definitely bulletproof, but you just don't see them out there anymore.
Yeah. There's so many different things to clean up your gravel now that, I mean, it's normally a pound per gallon. So
yeah, we usually recommend a pound per gallon for your fish tank. That gives you a nice gravel bed, something for the fish waste to go down into, keeps your water a little clearer, and then you use a vacuum to get it out.
All right, and then another rookie mistake once it gets to this point, and this can be one of the best parts of a fish tank, but also it does add cost when you're setting up a fish tank, is decorations. So the decorations are not just aesthetic for us to look at. Having a multitude of decorations in your tank creates a healthy environment for your fish. So they want to have rocks to swim in and out of and behind, or resin decorations. The resin ornaments, and they need to have plants. So if the fish was in its natural habitat, in a lake or a river or a stream or a pond, whatever, there is rocks, there's wood, there's plants, and those fish are able to hide if they see something that they're scared of or they get spooked. They can hide. They like to swim through things. So whenever people get a fish tank and they buy just like a single plant and a single resin decor, their fish are going to be more stressed than a fish that's provided with more enrichment items, or we'll call them tank decorations. So I'm gonna grab show a couple different options, starting with some silks. So these are silk plants. I'm going colorful, right? So
That'll look good with blue jean.
yeah. So this is a nice lily leaf silk. And getting different sizes too allows to tier your tank. I'm gonna get something a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So this smaller one. And then moving into here, I am still gonna do
Got a lot of resin here.
a plastic plant too, just to show the difference of what it looks like in the water. Let's go maybe This is a nice
So
little
these are our
thick plant.
plastics here.
So
You
they
can see
flow
the
differently
difference
in the water.
between that and the silk. The silk's going to be much more flowy.
Yes, in the water, these will move around a lot more. And then I'm gonna pick out some decorations. Again, we're going kid tank, right? So I'm a big kid. So, I mean, it really is your preference on what you like, but now I'm trying to go.
We're a little light on resin right now.
Yeah, Christmas. We just got through Christmas. I think this
That'll
little
look good.
castle. But you know what? I think I like this better.
This is the hardest part of setting up your fish tank.
This is a really cool hut.
Oh, yeah,
I like it
that.
a lot. They
Yeah,
can
let's do
swim
that.
through
They
that.
can swim through it.
Yeah. All right. Let me see.
If you come in on Fridays, we got the wheel deals as well.
Set that up. The bottoms of the plants are weighted, but it's still nice to bury them a little bit under the
Yeah, it
gravel,
helps for sure.
so they don't come dislodged.
And again, we are setting up the Marina 5-gallon LED tank. This light is rated for plants, and this is made by Fluval.
I want to hide my.
We're big Fluval and Marina advocates here at this store. If you look at our setups here, every single one is a Fluval.
There's some dense, but there's
I'm gonna add a little. I'm gonna add one more plant.
Little Yoshi Gobi. Some clowns. Now that's a saltwater tank. That's not what we're going over today, but eventually we will do a saltwater tank setup.
I went with one more plant.
That looks good. They'll have lots of places to hide.
Right. So something else with that is you can definitely add a background so you don't see the wires. We're not gonna do that today, but everybody sells plastic backgrounds.
Yeah, we have some backgrounds right over here. You can add any of these to your tank. And these are double-sided. So different on each side. Got a plain blue one here, but on the back it is have a floral.
Alright, I'm sorry, I'm adding a little bit more. I'm grabbing a little bit of bulk rock. This is like, you know, you want to get a piece, really dusty.
Yeah, you'll see bulk rock in pretty much any local fish store. We have a ton. If you look down here, just different types of rock that you can put in your aquarium. This stuff's really cool. Different color glasses. And we also have, I thought we had some small things of glass rock. I don't see our small glass rock anywhere,
It's
but
here. I'm gonna throw a little bit in.
okay. Oh, there's the small glass
Yes.
rock we sell.
Just, these are sharp, so if you're decorating with your kid,
Again, we recommend rinsing all that, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to.
I did rinse the other rock.
You rinsed that one.
Man, all blue. Why is all my glass blue? I was trying to make a little red. Now I'm changing it up a little bit. In lieu of time here. I do want it to look cool though. Right.
That wasn't all blue.
So most of it was blue in this bag.
All right, so we got this tank Aquascape. Lots of places for the fish to hide. A lot going on in there.
Other things that you can add that are optional that do also promote good health, air stones and bubblers. So you can buy, we'll show that real quick. Air pumps, buy a little air pump, okay? And this is serious, it's literally, it is what it is. You buy the air pump, this one comes with a little bit of tubing, and then some of the resin ornaments actually hook up to the air stone. If not, you
like
just
a little shell, just regular bubblers. We got a
And-
starfish, and then for your bigger tanks, we have the long air stones.
So this adds just, it will add more oxygen to your water, promotes healthier lungs and gills for the fish. So, with that being said, whenever you're adding all of your decorations, now I would tell you to put down a bowl or a plate, a small plate to pour your water in so it doesn't ruin all of the hard work you just did. But I'm just gonna aim for the resin here. Remember, this water is already dechlorinated.
All right.
Fill up your filter.
Yeah, you
Oh,
want
know
to fill
what?
up your filter?
This one you won't have to.
Because it's not inside. Yeah.
So the pump actually sits in the water. A lot of filters, the pump sits in the cartridge. So rule of thumb is your filter can't start pumping without water. So you actually have to fill up your filter.
Also known as priming the filter.
Okay.
All right,
And
so
then-
now we got fish. At this point, you would, if you don't have fish in your tank yet, and you don't have dechlorinated water as we do, you would put your dechlorinator in there first.
Let that sit.
And let that sit for 30 minutes while it runs. In this case, we're using dechlorinated water. We're gonna go ahead and put the Bio Boost in. This is live bacteria. So you want fish to be in there immediately, or the bacteria does not have anything to eat. The bacteria eats fish waste. When you use a different brand like Cycle, that is dormant bacteria, and it takes a few days to come alive, and then you want to add fish after a couple days. That's why we like the Bio Boost. This is a product you can get at most Petlands that have a fish department. Also, Fritz Turbo Start is a good product. It's very much like this.
I am adding my thermometer.
That's important. You always want to make sure you have a thermometer on there, because the heaters do fail. If your heater fails and you don't catch it, your fish will get too cold and not do well.
Something else I'm going to add, and I would recommend, especially if you're a first-time fish. This is for really good. It's really good to have all the time, but beginners especially. This is a product called Ammonia Alert. So the number one thing that we see that's going to be deadly to fish, and especially with new tanks, is a spike in your ammonia. So this product called Ammonia Alert always is tracking how much ammonia is in your tank. And what will happen is we're gonna activate this right now. This goes inside your tank, and I'm gonna put it on the side because it's a small tank, right? And what will happen is that dot will actually change colors to tell me if my ammonia is the correct level or not, and if that, you never want ammonia in your tank. So we want that to be the safe color at all times. If it starts going up, that would trigger to let me know to do a water change.
Yeah, so if it gets up to the alarm position there, you want to do a water change. Alert, you can kind of let it go so it can naturally come down, but whenever it's on alarm, you want to go ahead and do a 25% water change.
Okay, and then we're gonna add some fish.
Let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping. Yeah, we'll tell you. We'll do another video. There's other videos on our page on how to correctly drip acclimate a fish. So we
Now
need to go.
these fish are probably all too big.
Yeah, these are all larger varieties.
Oh, we got a
fish.
nice guppy in there.
Yeah, and there's some nice little rummy nose
Yeah,
and some
these
shrimp.
could fit in
Those
there.
could all go in. I didn't really set it up for
I
shrimp,
wouldn't
though.
add shrimp in a new tank though. Shrimp are a little bit not as hardy, so you want to have an established tank for shrimp. Oh, the all popular glowfish.
Of course. So of course I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple. You can do this, the white skirt tetra glowfish, which are over here, but they're much bigger. So for a 5-gallon tank, the Danios do much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a couple Danios for my tank. I didn't do blue lights, but that's okay.
No, they glow. They
glow no
are
matter
just
what.
as bright with white lights as they are blue. Blue makes them glow a little bit more, aka the name glowfish.
They have jellyfish DNA. So I'm putting in 3 Danios. A green, a blue,
And yellow.
Yeah.
They're all in there.
Yep. And then I want to add in, I can't get much more, you gotta be careful. We don't want to do too much in there, but I want to get
32-gallon Flex saltwater. Love this tank. Frag tank. What are you shopping for over
I'm
here?
getting some, if I can reach them, I can't. I'm gonna get a ladder. These bleeding hearts are really cool.
Oh yeah, I love bleeding hearts.
So the Danios actually don't need a heated tank. They do okay in cold water, but they do much better in heated water. So those glowfish Danios I just put in are gonna love that heated water. They're in, all of our tanks are heated. So these bleeding hearts are one of my favorites. Oh, see, I knew I was gonna lose that.
There you go.
they've got that a little bit more of a different color, and then they've got that pink dot. And since I'm doing a 5-gallon tank, I didn't mind getting some of the smaller ones so I have room to grow. And I'm gonna do 3 of those. And that's gonna put me at 6 inches, but with the ammo alert, I feel comfortable having 6 inches of fish in this tank. And gonna make sure
Yeah, normally we'd probably break this up into 3 fish and then 3 fish probably a week or 2 later. But just for the video, we're gonna add what we would recommend is your total fish count. So,
then I would just
and then that tank is pretty much tapped out besides maybe a bottom feeder.
maybe a snail.
Yeah, some snails.
We
We're
don't
low
have
on
anything for them
snails
to eat right now though. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
you
add
don't
it
want to
yet.
put a snail in until it's...
And then I'd turn my light on, which my light's not on right now because I didn't plug it in. But really great little tank. 6 little fish in that 5-gallon tank. They'll provide a lot of movement. Those Danios really love swimming.
And here's what it'll look like with the lid on. It's just a nice, sleek, fully covered tank.
Let me see here. Gotta get my setup done. There we go.
All right.
And that's all she wrote.
All right, and that's how you set up your first fish tank. Again, we're setting up the 5-gallon Marina. Great starter tank. Thanks for watching.
Any questions, drop them in the comments. And then stay tuned for more videos on fish care and fish tank care. So, thank you guys.